Karen, we are live and you may begin whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, Restonians, and welcome to the initial board meeting of the 2022-23 term. And welcome to our new board members, Erwin Flashman and Glenn Small and Lori Dodd. Lori being North Point, Mr. Flashman, Lake Ann Tall Oaks, and Glenn Small are at-large directors. So welcome to your first board meeting.
Thank you.
I've established quorum, and so we can begin. The primary purpose of this evening is to elect the new board officers and a couple other administrative things. So we can get right to business. First, we have a consent calendar to approve, and there are 5 items on that consent calendar. The first item is, hello? Did somebody say something? Okay. I don't know. There are 5 items on the consent calendar tonight. The first one is the adoption of tonight's agenda. Excuse me. And then we have 4 sets of minutes to approve. The March 17th special board meeting, the March 18th special board meeting, the March 24th regular board meeting, and the April 2nd special board meeting. So if I might have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Karen, I have a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay,
Can I move to add new business as item F under presentation, discussions, and action items? I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Bob.
and that would be for what, Sarah? New business for what?
I think we have a couple of board motions we'd like to make.
I'm happy to bring. I'm happy to
Okay.
mention the subjects of them.
Okay, yes, go ahead, Bob.
The first would be to assure that each of the 3 new directors be provided all the documentation that was prepared by staff and by our consultants related to the CEO search to date. The second is to direct staff to issue an immediate call for candidates for a vacancy that has appeared on the board. And the third is to direct our consultant to refresh the CEO search.
Okay, thank you.
And Tony has his hand up.
Yes, Tony.
Second motion will be unnecessary, as the call for candidates was handled pursuant to Resolution 14, Board and Association, which directed staff to immediately issue a call for candidates. So that's already in motion.
Okay, I wasn't sure, so I thought I'd better bring it up rather than just leave it to task.
Appreciate you, Doug. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. And I should thank you for bringing that up, because I had intended to make an announcement about that to the membership, that one of our board members, Director Dowling, at-large member, who just completed his first year, has resigned from the board. So that's the reference to a call for candidates. Okay. All right, so yeah, so I will then make a motion to approve the consent calendar as amended.
Second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
I think
Okay,
Lori's saying she.
Lori, you have to
Sorry, I'm
unmute.
sorry. I am abstaining because I can't approve minutes for meetings I did not attend.
okay, thank you. All right. Christina, did anyone sign up for member comments?
No, no signups, but if anybody would like to comment, please raise your hand. I do not see any hands.
I'm not seeing any. Okay. All right. Then moving on to the election of officers, which is my last order of business as your president. And just to go over how this will work, we are going to take these one officer at a time, starting with president. When that person has been elected, he or she will take over the meeting. And then the election for vice president, secretary, and treasurer will follow. So we will, and this will be done by secret balloting pursuant to section 55-510.1.b of the Virginia Property Owners Association Act. That is, so even if there's only one candidate, it will afford the board members the opportunity to cast their the board members to cast their ballots anonymously and without fear of any kind of repercussion. And then the general counsel, we will text our votes to the general counsel. He will tabulate the results. And to be elected, a candidate must receive a majority of the votes from a majority of the board. And I can't read my whole notes. Yeah, and so the general counsel will just announce the results without giving any details on the number of votes one way or another. So with that, I would like to open the floor to nominations for president. Yes, Mr. Flashman.
I take great pleasure in nominating Sarah Silverage de Souza for president.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will second.
I second.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I think Bob beat you to it, Jennifer.
That's
Okay.
fine with me.
Are there any other nominations for president? Okay, if there's no further nominations, then the nominations are closed. Sarah, you are entitled to make a statement demonstrating your desire and qualifications to be president. So if you care to do so, now is the time.
Can I save it for after the vote, please? I'll save my little statement for after the vote.
Actually, now is the time to speak.
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you, Karen. You've done a really great job the last year and led by example. And I'm going to steal some wise words from you from last night. We are a team. We are a resident association, and that's the only way forward. I am honored and very grateful for the trust my colleagues have in me, but I can't do this alone, and it has to be all of us coming together. That said, a chair could not ask for a better board. I have seasoned board members like Karen yourself, who's been on covenants and is an expert. We have financial heavyweights like Bob Petrine. We've got not one, not two, but 3 attorneys. I'm still deciding if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We've got 2 IT professionals. Last but not the least, we've got our own HR expert. I feel like a MasterCard ad. If we were actually paying for all of you, it would be priceless to the kind of time and commitment and expertise you bring on. I promise to bring my community organizing skills and build consensus as much as possible to have a successful year. There's my 2 seconds.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, well, with that, everybody has the number to text with your vote, I hope. They were sent to us in an email. I believe it's either to Tony or Christina. Is that correct?
It's actually to both.
Okay. I have to. I have.
Is there a particular format that you want our vote in?
I prefer not hieroglyphics. So any simple statement will work.
Okay.
Um, trying to get you both on the same text. I'm gonna have to do mine separately, sorry.
Don't know if I should be nervous since everyone's thinking so much.
Jeopardy music.
Tony's just making sure he gets the count right. I don't know why.
Are you in the woods, Miss Jennifer?
Madam Chair, the 2022-2023 president is Director D'Souza.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Congratulations, Sarah. And you may have the gavel.
Thank you so much, Karen, and thank you. Since I've already done my thank you speech, I'm not going to keep going on. I think the next order of business is to open nominations for vice president. Bob?
I'd like to nominate Jennifer Juszczyk for vice president.
Thank you.
Second, please.
Thank you. Jennifer, did you have a statement you'd like to share?
I think we have to close nominations or ask for another nomination first.
Are there any other
Right.
nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we shall close nominations, and Jennifer, you can make your statement.
I don't really have a prepared statement. I just wanted to say hello to everyone from vacation. I'm excited, probably like Karen is, that hotel Wi-Fi's work. And certainly appreciate everyone's trust in me, and will do my best to fulfill the duties of vice president. I think that I have tried and worked really hard with Christina to do that for secretary, and hopefully I can do the same for vice president. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's the same thing. We've got our phone numbers. Can we please text Tony and Christina? Next time around, we're going to hire a DJ to play music when we're.
I can get them to turn the music back on here in the lobby. It's not Jeopardy music.
For a lobby, your background is very quiet, Karen.
Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning here.
No.
Quarter to 1.
Madam President, the vice president for the 2022-2023 year shall be Jennifer Just Chuck.
Congratulations.
All right.
Any statement, Jennifer? Can we go into secretary? Open nominations for
Go for it.
secretary. Thank you.
I nominate Erwin Flashman for secretary.
Thank you.
I second.
Any other nominations for secretary? Looks like Erwin Flashman ran away, but we'll close nominations.
Time to elect him.
I know, yes.
I didn't run away. It was that my computer
Your
was
camera.
all of this sort of broken up conversations, and I was wondering whether my computer was, because of my screen, not having sufficient power with all to be able to generate a clear statement. Can you hear me well now?
Yes.
We can, but we can't see you, Erwin, but that's okay. We can hear you.
Because everybody else is broken up, but okay. So I look forward to being the secretary. I think that my background as a lawyer will be helpful, but I think most.
We lost you.
I think, Sarah, we need to see if there's any other nominations before he speaks.
I did ask. I don't think we
Okay.
had any.
All right, good.
Excellent. And I look forward to.
I think you said I look forward to being the next secretary. So, Erwin, you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yes.
Well, it's not that cold here, but
Okay. Okay. I think we can. If you're done with your statement, Erwin, can we go into the votes?
Yep.
Perfect. We've got the phone numbers, folks.
Madam President, the secretary for the rest of the association board for the 2022-2023 year shall be Director Flashman.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Congratulations, Erwin.
Thank you very much.
I think your results were the ones that came out really fast. So I don't know if I'm jealous of your time. We open nominations for treasurer.
I would like to nominate Bob Petrine to reprise his role as treasurer.
Thank you, Lori. Is there a second?
I second.
Any other nominations for treasurer? Hearing none, I close the nominations. Bob, do you have a statement you want to share?
Just a very brief statement. Thank you for your confidence in me. This will be my third year as treasurer, and I look forward to working with the new board, continuing to work with staff and members as they have requirements on the financial side.
Thank you, Bob. We've got the phone numbers. By now, we should be pros at this.
Are there any more nominations?
I closed before you spoke. Thank you. Nobody wants to take you on, Bob.
I could take that a number of different ways.
Madam President, the treasurer for the rest of the association board of directors for the 2022-2023 year is Bob Petrine.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we have the appointment of assistant secretary. Tony, can you walk us through that?
Rest Association governing documents provide that to share the plethora of tasks that the secretary is responsible for, the association the board may appoint an assistant secretary. If I may have the board's indulgence, I would recommend Christina Easterly. She has been doing a fantastic job for 2 years, and she is fully familiar with our governing documents, our resolutions, and most of these board members. It would require a motion, second, and a vote.
I motion to elect Christina Easterly as Assistant Secretary.
Thank you, Jennifer. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Erwin. I'm assuming no discussions. Can we call the vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
I think that was unanimous. Nobody opposed. Perfect. Is that good for you, Tony?
Outstanding.
Okay. And then we have item D. I'm going to hand it off to our CEO, acting CEO and COO, Larry Butler, for the secretary certificate. Do you? Go ahead, Larry.
So Tony, for the secretary certificate, that's just simply a signatory thing that we have to do, as I recall. So we need to get, I think, original signatures for that. So it's an administrative piece that we need to do. So Erwin, we will need that along with, I think, you and Christina, so we can accomplish that and get that finished up.
Okay, when would you like us to come in to do that?
We'll prepare the document tonight. You can coordinate with Christina as to when it comes. Just a little bit of background. It's required by the State Corporation Commission. Just basically lets them know who our signatory authorities are.
Tony, would that be the same for like the conflict of interest forms? Christina and you will take care of those.
We will take care of distributing the conflict of interest forms. However, each director will need to fill out their own form as to their unique circumstances.
Fantastic, thank you. And then now to our new item F, new business. Bob, would you like to make your motion?
Okay. Excuse me. I would like to move that each of the new directors be provided with all of the documentation given to the prior board's members supporting the new CEO search.
Second,
Second.
thank you, Jennifer. Do we have any discussion? Bob, do you want to just give a brief why?
Uh,
I don't know if we need it, but do you?
I think it's fairly obvious that there's a lot of documentation. And I think it would enhance and speed up the process to get the new directors up to speed on what has already taken place in terms of the CEO search. And the work that not only staff, but the individuals involved in our consultant Baker Tilly has done.
Thank you. Any questions? Can we call the vote?
I just was able to get back in. Can you tell me what the motion is?
Sure, I'll repeat it. I move that each of the new directors be provided all the documentation given to the prior board's members supporting the new CEO search.
Okay, thanks.
All those in favor?
I,
Okay. Again, it's a unanimous vote. Bob, you want to go on to your second?
Yes, the second one is I move that we direct Baker Tilly to refresh the CEO search to include both existing and new applicants as soon as practical for a period of 3 weeks.
Is there a second?
second.
Isn't
Thank
that the
you.
motion Tony said is not needed because that's already been done?
Yeah, that's
No,
the
this
third.
is another one.
Oh, I apologize.
The other one was to have staff. The other one we didn't need to act upon was due to the vacancy, due to the resignation of one of
Thank
the
you.
directors.
Then I will second Bob's motion.
I think Erwin
I
seconded.
also second.
And I'm happy to, we've done a lot of work. There has been an enormous amount of work that has already been done that doesn't need to be replicated. Once the new directors have had a modicum of time to review the documentation, we should be able to get Baker Tilly to sit down and refresh the search. And I want to make it wanted to include not only the existing applicants, but any new applicants that might be interested in the position. But I didn't want to leave it open-ended, so that's why I suggested 3 weeks, and that may be the most controversial aspect of the entire motion, I think.
Any discussion? Can we vote? Okay. All those in favor?
I,
Again, unanimous. Thank you. I'm getting used to this now.
Yeah, I think you need to reach out to Sharon ASAP, Sarah.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Bob, I'm assuming that's Erwin, you had a question?
yes, I do. With regard to the call for candidates, which the staff is putting out for the vacant position, is there a time limit for submission of applications for that?
Tony, that's a question for you.
Board's indulgence while I pull up the resolution.
Thank you.
60 days.
That's
Could
right.
we,
That's the
could someone
max.
could someone explain the process for us, how this is going to work?
Council?
Working on it, you need to get the document up.
Sarah, while he's looking that up, we need you to come in as well. We need your signature on a number of bank forms and so forth. So we'll coordinate that with Tom. Probably late next week might work.
Sure.
Okay, if you're going to be around.
Okay. Appointment of a category A or C director. Again, this does not apply to the multifamily board seat, which Director Collins currently sits in. On the vacancy of any director, immediate call for candidates shall be issued by association staff. Members in good standing are eligible to make an application. It's not a district, so it doesn't apply. It's a 2-week period. I apologize. 60 days was dealt with whether or not they were delinquent and qualified as a member of good standing. So they have 2 weeks to apply. And at the next board meeting, regular or special, following the deadline, that 2-week deadline, each qualified applicant shall be given 5 minutes to make a brief statement to the board concerning the application and answer any questions posed by the member of the board. Section 6 talks about some of the questions that directors may ask a qualified applicant, like the residency, ability to public forum, et cetera, et cetera. And then the board will make a vote on whether or not to appoint or which applicant to appoint.
And Tony, can I ask how, sorry, Bob, go ahead.
I was going to say, according to the deed, the vacant position will be filled for a 1-year term.
That is correct, until the next election.
And Tony will be advertising on all of our channels, right? Including social media and others, all of our press releases.
That is my understanding. I believe acting CEO would know better than me, but my understanding is we put it on all of our social media, Reston News, and on our website, I believe.
So the 2-week clock begins when it's posted. Is that correct?
The 2-week clock began today.
When is it going to be posted then?
I believe it has been posted today.
Can someone share that link in the chat?
It has been posted. I actually put.
Can I give an update here on this? It's planned to be posted momentarily right after the board meeting this evening. It'll be on the homepage of the website, along with an update on the newly elected board offices. There'll be indication of the resignation, the call for candidates, and the newly elected board offices.
Thank you, Mike.
We'll push it out on social media.
There's our Director of Communications, straight from the horse's mouth. Thank you, Mike.
Welcome.
Jennifer, go ahead.
For the benefit of the membership, can we give the date, the ending date? Is it going to be what, 5 o'clock on the 27th, the 28th? What's the deadline?
So 2 weeks would be 5 o'clock on the 27th.
Sorry, but it's not being posted. You said 2 weeks. It's not being posted until tonight after 7. So is that fair?
I can change it to the 28th if that is best.
Tony, do we have flexibility to do that? If we can, that'll be great.
The 2 weeks, so technically we'd have to be at whatever time it was posted. But I don't think it's going to hurt if we run it at 9 o'clock on the 28th. Think of business.
Okay, thank you. Are we all good with that? And I'd like to ask the directors if you have any, we know how hard it was to find candidates to run for the board. So if you've got any friends who you think will be a great asset, please ask them, encourage them, nominate them, however we want to get qualified candidates. That'd be great. Thank you. And if that's it, I have under new business, the committee matrix. Bob, so you're done with yours, right?
Yes, yes,
Perfect.
thank you.
Christina, I emailed you the committee matrix. Is there any way you can share that on your screen, please?
Okay, let me open my email. I actually prepared a matrix on, I'm seeing that yours is a PDF and I can use that, but it might be use an Excel sheet that I prepared. Would you like me
Sure.
to? Okay.
Sure, go for it. As long as you have the same plugins, that'd be great.
So when I was trying to get reconnected were the other items on the agenda taken care of?
The secretary, assistant secretary, yes, Karen.
Okay,
Okay, so Larry's going to reach out with the conflict of interest forms, and then Tony would be taking care of the assistant secretary piece.
or vice versa. That's okay.
Yes,
Okay, can you see this?
I can. It just doesn't have my Christina, can you quickly put in the X's that I had on my sheet? If not, we can go through it together.
I will share your sheet.
Thank you. Folks, this is merely just me plugging in X's, so please feel free to let us know if you want anything changed, moved around, happy to. I think Bach and BGC, some of the positions are officers, hence those can't be changed. I tried my level best with Tony and legal and he wouldn't let me out of it. So here we are. Do you want us to walk through each? Any questions? Please let me know.
Sarah, I will, what I would request for your consideration is covenants, legal, and prac would be the three that I would like.
Okay. And prac, I'm assuming, Tony, you can give us some guidance since we had multiple directors like EAC and DRB. So Erwin and Karen can be on prac since Erwin had asked for prac as well.
I think that'll be a problem.
Okay. So Karen, covenants, legal, and prac.
And prac.
Got it.
And yeah, and not Bach. I will,
Mike is not here, so we can
oh,
stick
okay,
him in
Sarah,
Bach.
Sarah, you're going to do public art Reston as well as Friends of Reston you have to do because that's in their bylaws that that's the president.
Yeah.
Public art Reston can be anybody, but if you want to take that, go ahead. I'm happy to continue with that if you like, but.
I think I'd like to keep it. And we've had 4 or 3 try to max out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I might change my mind depending on how many meetings. Thank you. The one I have.
They do not meet monthly. They're in the process of sort of, relooking at things, but I don't think it's going to be monthly.
Got it. Thank you. And the one that we, due to Director Dowling, I moved some of his around, but I still need someone for DRB, the second option for DRB. Any volunteers would be nice. Bob, you're already on DRB.
No. I only want to mention to my fellow directors, there are a lot of meetings.
That's your
on average, there are 3 a month.
Yes.
And they can be just as long, if not longer, than board meetings.
You're not helping with recruitment.
I
Bob.
know.
I want to be honest.
Yeah.
Any takers?
Sarah, I'm happy to take DRB at least until we have a new director. That way, at least it's covered.
Perfect. Perfect. And so I think it'll be the same. We'll have an opening at Bach till we find our 4th director. I misspoke because we have Mike already on BGC. Tony, is that okay?
It'll be okay, provided everybody shows up, because with only three, if only two show up, you don't have anyone to do business with.
Got it. Got it. And hopefully that won't be for long. So if we're all okay with this list, Christina, can you make the edits, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Are
Any
you-
others? Any questions? Erwin?
Are
Go
you
for it.
going to be on legal? And we'll have
Yes.
people on legal. And Karen is going to be on covenants.
Covenants, legal, and prac is Karen.
Well, then we'll have 5 people on legal.
We can switch Mike for Karen. Or Lori?
I can give up legal if that will make things easier.
Perfect. Thank you,
I
Karen.
don't mind, or I don't mind giving up legal if Karen, if you want to stay.
I'll
Okay.
let the two of you duke it out.
I kind of like doing covenants and legal because there's sometimes, a natural progression there.
Lori, you're okay with that?
I am,
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you,
Sure.
Lori.
sure.
Are we good otherwise? I will let our secretary take a look and confirm. Are you good, Erwin?
I'm fine.
Glenn, you're okay with your committees?
Yes, I am.
Right. That is- Jennifer, so you've added on DRB, otherwise you're good.
Yes, I am good. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for making this painless, guys. So I will leave it to Christina to send us the, updated list with accurate X's. If we have no other new business, I can entertain a motion to adjourn. Yes, Bob?
I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the outgoing president for
Yes.
Thank
a
you.
very, very trying year. Zoom meetings are difficult at best, and you did a great job moving us through a very interesting year, shall we say.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you, Karen. A record number of meetings, a record number of special meetings, and sitting up at 1 a.m. for a board meeting. Thank you.
So-
And hopefully,
Echo that from the staff's
soon we
perspective.
can.
I was gonna say, I will echo that. Thank you, Karen, from this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Larry. After last night's love fest. Anyway, yeah, it was an interesting year for sure. And so you can probably understand why I don't want to take on too much this year. I need some recovery time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
But,
hopefully we will have an uneventful year.
And hopefully with in-person meetings again at some point. I really think that once it's safe to do it, it makes all the difference. We experienced that when we did in-person interviews, and just the dynamics make all the difference in the world, just as far as the board interaction with each other. And so I'm hoping that can happen. We're all hoping.
Yes. And you need to be back this side, stateside, safe and sound. Yes, Bob?
Can I ask, since I see Tom Deal is on the call, Tom, you don't have to respond, but the fiscal meeting next week appears to be an in-person meeting. Could you confirm with Scott and make a decision as to whether it's going to be in person or a Zoom? Would be very helpful. Thanks.
And Tom, you'll let us know, right?
Yeah,
Do you have-
it's supposed to be in person.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thanks, everyone. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank you, Bob. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Karen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Aye.
Thank you so much. Here's to more less than an hour board meetings.
Here, here.
Congratulations, everybody.
Good night, all.
more power to
Good night.
you. I tried.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.